Hey guys, it's Moto. I'm on the Z190 today. This bike, I don't know, never ceases to amaze me. Always seems to run really well. Really the biggest problem I have with this thing is the clutch. The clutch just always feels really weird on it. I just kind of think that just might be the way it is. I don't know. But I don't know, I was out today riding around. Chicago Grom is supposed to be out, and I haven't seen them anywhere yet, so they might still be on their way out this way. They're coming from Chicago, so I zipped out to Lake Geneva to see, because that's where they were supposed to be, but I don't think they made it out this far yet. So I'm thinking I'm just going to go home, and I'm going to switch out Groms. I'm going to go through, kind of want to do the oil change on my yellow or green or whatever color people call that color Grom. Got to do the oil change, so I think I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to go ride that one. Can't believe I already got almost 500 miles on that thing already. Pretty nice day out today, just kind of looks like rain. I was driving down Highway 50 earlier, and there's a lot of motorcycles out today. That's for sure. Today is one of those days where you kind of need a sweater, but it's like right in between of being warm and kind of chilly at the same time. I would say this bike right here, I probably put the most miles on this year. Drove it quite a bit. It'd be cool to run into Chicago Grom, but I don't think that's going to happen. Well, I made the last video and I see my microphone worked pretty well, so that's a plus. And I don't know, I kind of had my red Grom up. I was going to try trading it, or not really trading, but sell it to buy another full-size motorcycle. But I don't know, I'm kind of thinking not to do that. I put on the post I had to sell it by the weekend, because during the week I'm just so stinking busy. You know, I work during the night, and that's usually when everybody's calling you, so during the week I don't want to deal with people asking me questions about my motorcycle, so I'll probably pull the ad down, and I think I'm just going to keep it. This season's almost over anyways for, you know, we live in Wisconsin, so I probably only got another, maybe if I'm lucky, 2 more months of riding I could do. So yeah, like see over here, it's a little chilly. A jacket would have been a little nice. Cool. So if any of my watchers actually ordered a Z190 from my video, me telling you guys about them being in stock, post in the comments below. It's kind of funny, it seems like everybody wanted one, and then as soon as I post a link for it, it's like nobody says anything or does anything, you know. So I don't know, maybe not as many people wanted them as as we think. There's a lot of reliability questions about this motor, I guess, and so far to me, I think it's pretty reliable. I think where the problem is, where you lose reliability with this motor, is when you over-rev it. I'll bet a lot of people who buy these are over-revving them and blowing them up. As long as you try not to over-rev it, you'll be okay. You gotta remember, this motor's putting out 11-to-1 compression, so it's probably considered a high output motor. And it revs, like if you don't have it in gear and you hit the throttle, it'll rev like instantly to like 10, 13 grand. So you gotta be very careful not to do that. It's probably not made to rev that high. You know, that's when you start breaking parts, I would guess. I mean, you got to think about it. It's kind of like your car. You don't want to rev it up too high, otherwise, you know, the same thing. But I guess a lot of younger people don't know that you're really not supposed to rev your car up like super high. And same thing with this motor. I mean, as long as it's in gear, you're probably okay to go up in the higher RPMs. But when you're in neutral and you rev it up that high, you know, it's just revving loose, and I don't know, I would imagine that would be bad. I don't know, guys, people always talk about like how helmets don't impair your vision and all that. I mean, they might not, but I mean, when I'm riding my bike with my helmet on, I find it kind of annoying, actually. But I don't know. I guess it doesn't really impair my vision. I mean, it might a little, but not a lot. I mean, I don't know. There's people who say that a helmet, I think I've seen statements somewhere on the internet that a helmet's really not any good for anything over 25 miles an hour, but I don't know if that's entirely true or not either. So, I mean, I honestly wouldn't want to fall and have my face scraped off, that's for sure. But there's times I don't wear my helmet. It's usually on my regular Groms, because those I ride pretty slow, but still, I mean, if you fall, it's gonna hurt, you know. I mean, you'll probably get some serious damage done. Yeah, it would be a very nice day for riding if it wasn't for a little bit of chill that's in the air right now. I mean, it's not bad, but I would rather be warm than cold. But that's just me. I'm starting to see more and more people around here who actually have Groms now. There's a guy on Facebook, Stunt for Life. He has a, I always see him posting stuff up, and he's from this area right here where we're going through now. Well, at least his work is through here. But I don't know, I usually never bump into him though. I seen his Grom one time when I was riding at this auto parts store. But other than that, I haven't seen him out this way, even though he works out this way, so I don't know. Like I was telling you guys, I gotta do the oil change on my new Grom. I hear a lot of people, they say they change their oil and there's a lot of metallic particles in it. But those metallic particles, I think they're seeing is brass, and I believe that is probably used in a clutch material. So, because I mean, even with this bike, when I changed it out, the oil, I had like a little bit, but not as much as I seen in my Grom, my red Grom anyways. There was quite a bit of, like, it looked like brass material, you know, so your bearings in your bikes are not brass, they're steel, you know, and and your piston's not made out of brass, that would be aluminum, so I am saying it's clutch material that's wearing out, and that is absolutely nothing to worry about. You know, when you buy a new Grom, you know, I mean, my red bike only had 800 miles on it, and I honestly, when I bought it, and I honestly don't, maybe it was 9, but like I keep saying, I honestly don't know if, the guy said he changed the oil in it, but I'm not sure if he did or not. But when I changed it, it had quite a bit in it, and then I rode it again, and I believe I changed it again at, I don't know, like 1,000 miles, and there was hardly nothing in there at all, so, or, yeah, I don't know, it was like another 500 miles I changed the oil, but, there was like hardly nothing in there. I'm getting a little confused with my numbers on my bikes for the oil changes, because, you gotta remember, at one point I had 5, and I was doing oil changes on all of them around the same time, so I'm kind of losing track of the numbers. But I do have them all written down somewhere, so in a folder at home, so I'm good. Now I know when I had my 50cc scooter, when I first got that, I did the oil change. I had metallic particles in it, and those were aluminum metallic parts. You can tell because it was gray. But after the other oil changes, there was no more. Only the first one was like that. That is the one thing I really like about this bike so much, is that it keeps up with traffic, no problem. I never have anybody trying to pass me, you know, unless they're trying to speed, like in a rush, and I'm doing the speed limit, but this bike here, I don't know, I feel like I could drive it just about anywhere. But the only thing I keep saying, like, what really annoys me is the stupid clutch in this thing. For some reason, you got to hold the clutch lever out at a certain position to shift down, and then just really annoying. Oh, there's a nice group ride. I don't think that's